name is George Adrian Barrett. My friends call me Adrian. I was born in England to Jamaican parents, so I guess that makes me Afro-Caribbean or African-American.
How many children do you have?
One that I know of.
Jason
Gabriel Barrett. I found out I was going to be a dad when I was interning. I was in business school. At the time I was 36 years old. So, that's older than I think the average father. And I was grown, I was having a baby, I just took it in stride.
Were you scared of being a father? Were you scared of
No. No. It was just a part of what grown men do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where did you learn about being a dad?
From my mom. I was raised by a single mom, and throughout my life. Here in the States, I came to America when I was about 13 years old, and she, struggled and worked 2 or 3 jobs, and really wasn't there during my teenage years to supervise us a lot. But she did say that if we ever got into trouble, she would kill us in our sleep, and we believed her. So we were more scared of her than the streets, so we didn't get into any trouble. Yeah, she was pretty strong. She was one of those militant moms, kind of a Angela Davis wannabe type of mom. So she instilled in us some values. And I think, frankly, coming from the Caribbean, where discipline in places like school are harsher, we just had a different mindset than some of the kids on the block in New York. His future is going to be brighter than mine. I mean, he's what I call an Obama baby. That's the first president. Obama's the first president he remembers. And I don't know if you recall that, when we were young, when that kid got up in junior high school and said that he wanted to be president, everybody, well, in my case, nobody said anything, but everybody was thinking the same thing. Like, yeah, right, that's never going to happen. And it's happened, so I think, we'll know what the ramifications of that are 20 years down the line. But their mindset is different. They don't have to be vaccinated against racism and discrimination with the same size needle that we got when we were children.
What do you want your son to remember most about you?
Well, that I was there, that I did my best to instill in him, good values, and to strive. He's a very bright boy, frankly, as was I, but he's also, a lot of bright kids, including myself, we're also lazy kids. So I'm really trying to get him to, capitalize on his natural ability by working hard.
What's your favorite thing to do with Dad?
Hang out with him.
What do you hang out and do?
We mainly just go around town, driving around town.
We go to the pool.
Yeah.
If I look back on my life, all my accomplishments, things that I've done, they mean nothing compared to me being a father. It's the greatest thing I've ever done. And I'm stealing that line from Ron Brown. He said that, but I agree.
He is just a good dad.
Being a father is either going to bring out the best in you as a man, or it's going to make you out to be a complete coward. And it's brought out the best in me. There's no manual for this. To be honest with you, the closest thing that I had to a father growing up was Bill Cosby, pre-scandal. He raised a lot of us because he set our expectations sort of higher, because I knew nobody that lived like that in my neighborhood. And when he came along with that show, the Cosby Show, it gave us something sort of to look forward to, that there were actually people out there that had that. They weren't single parent people, they were professional folks, etc. So a lot of us coming up in that generation, most of my friends were single parent. We kind of used that to kind of model ourselves. But as far as day-to-day parenting and having a dad, that's something I had to learn on the fly. Because even though I know my dad, I like my dad, he flunked out of dad school big time. And it's, I like to say, in his later years as an adult, he kind of got his GED in fatherhood.